Ep. 23rd. Sunset of secrets and a storm of war. Muhammad Shah gazes at the fading sun from the fortress's highest roof, lost in a world only he and Allah know. His heart drifts, heavy with unspoken thoughts. Below, Sheikh Muhammad Masood searches, frantically for him, sent by Ghazi Sahib. After praying together at Juma, Masood lost track of Little Sahib. Grumbling about missed chances to visit Kantaktwar, he's ready to give up when Haji Dad, a local aide, reveals Muhammad Shah's been on the roof all along. Masood's temper flares. Why didn't Haji Dad say sooner? Embarrassed by his own oversight, Masood stomps up the stairs, muttering about wasted time. He finds Muhammad Shah, silent, staring at the horizon. Masood hesitates. This stern leader isn't a friend to jest with lightly. Pacing nervously, he peers over Muhammad Shah's shoulder, trying to see what captivates him. In the distance, a group of women in bright saris, red, blue, dazzling in the dimming light, walk a village path with men and children likely headed to a festival or wedding. Their joyful stride draws eyes. Masood, struck by a wild idea, assumes Muhammad Shah is watching them, searching for someone. Leaning close, he whispers, "She's there, isn't she, Huzur?" Muhammad Shah startles, confused. Masood points to the women, hinting at little Huzurain, the woman tied to Muhammad Shah's past. Flustered, Muhammad Shah denies it, scolding Masood's foolishness. Masood, sheepish, mentions Lucknow, where he heard of a Begum, Dilruba, who once held Muhammad Shah's heart. Muhammad Shah's curiosity spikes. "What did you hear?" he presses. Masood stumbles, saying she loved him deeply, even wanted to keep him. Muhammad Shah's face softens, murmuring her name. Masood, excited, asks if she's among the women. Muhammad Shah laughs, calling him a fool for jumping to conclusions. Sitting together, Masood probes further. Was her marriage proposal real? Muhammad Shah nods, amused by Masood's simple heart. Masood asks if Dilruba truly loved him. Muhammad Shah admits she did, fiercely. Masood's joy fades. Leaving her was a mistake, he says, guessing her heart's wounded. Muhammad Shah agrees, his voice heavy. It's fate's game. Duty brought them here, not love. Marriage would stall their work. Masood falls silent, but soon asks if Dilruba's married elsewhere. Muhammad Shah, lost in thought, doesn't answer. As Maghrib's call to prayer echoes, he's pulled back, his heart aching anew. The next morning, after parade, Muhammad Shah retreats to his office. No field work today, just paperwork. But his mind's restless. Masood's words stirred old wounds. Sleepless, he's haunted by Dilruba's hopes. Her waiting at Imam Sahib's door, her heart shattered when he left. Guilt burns. He longs for her forgiveness, knowing he can't face her again. A knock snaps him back. Abu Tahir enters, greeted warmly. They chat about Abu's wife, Abida, and their busy lives managing Ghazi's local teams. Abu complains about weekly reports eating into work time, asking to visit monthly instead. Muhammad Shah agrees, easing the rule. Then Abu drops a bombshell. Last week, he and Abida were in Lucknow, summoned by Sultan Bahadur. The Sultan, thrilled about Abu's marriage, demanded to see them. He showered them with affection, praising Abida's courage, calling her husband a hero for their cause. Muhammad Shah's mind drifts to Lucknow's royal halls. Abu reveals Abida spent days at Imam Sahib's house with Dilruba Begum. Muhammad Shah freezes. Abu, nervous, admits Abida saw Dilruba's pain, her unchanged love. Dilruba spoke of him constantly, her words a mix of pride and sorrow. She wrote it all in a letter. Trembling, Muhammad Shah demands the letter. Abu, hesitant, hands it over. Dilruba's words pour out. She salutes his duty, proud he chose principle over love, despite her pain. She understands his absence, prays for his peace, and begs him not to blame her or stray from his path. Her love is open now, no longer secret. She'll weep for him proudly if fate demands it, trusting Allah to guide him. Muhammad Shah clutches the letter, overwhelmed. Far off, a storm brews. Kamrup's king Kameshwar invades Bengal, his army crushing all resistance. Bengal's forces crumble like dust, their lines collapsing in moments, devoured by fire and fury. EP. 24th, a trap in the heat of war. The war rages wild. Kamrup's king Kameshwar storms Bengal, his massive army sweeping through like a wildfire. Bengal's forces, despite their fine armor, collapse in moments, scattered like straw in a storm. At Hatigoda, fortress chief Patsi Ray and Tribhuti's envoy Kedar Ray don't just talk big, they deliver. Patsi Ray, cunning as ever, twists Kameshwar's plans, luring the young, unbeatable king into the battlefield himself. Kameshwar dreams of a vast Hindu empire, but Patsi's secret goal burns deeper. For years he's waited for this moment, goading Kameshwar to lead his troops in person. Now, with Kameshwar in the open, Patsi's plot takes shape. Kamrup's kingdom, stretching from Tibet to Bengal's Karatoya River, dwarfs Bengal in size and loyalty. Its soldiers, from footmen to commanders, are fiercely devoted, unlike Bengal's fractured ranks riddled with traitors. Kameshwar's army, vast and disciplined, seems unstoppable. Bengal's commander, Sarleskar Ikram Khan, tries to hold the line along the Karatoya, the border river. He splits his troops into squads, posting them at key points, while he patrols, with a mobile unit aided by swift riders and sharp spies. But Patsi's treachery undermines him. Ikram, already stretched thin, hears Kameshwar himself is advancing. He races to intercept, only for a spy to warn him. Kameshwar's force is no small band. It's half of Kamrup's might, with more in reserve and top generals at his side. Ikram hesitates. His spy urges him to gather all Bengal's forces, warning that a rash attack will doom them. More spies confirm the same grim news. Convinced, Ikram pulls back, sending riders to rally his scattered squads at a secret spot on Karatoya's east bank. He hurries there, mind racing with battle plans, knowing his small force needs clever tactics to win. As he rides, Patsi Ray gallops up, feigning shock. "Terrible news," he cries, claiming Kameshwar's giant army is closing in, far bigger than Bengal's worst fears. He says he saw it himself, rushing to warn Ikram. "We must stop them here or we're done," he insists. Ikram, focused on strategy, trusts Patsi despite his doubts. Bengal's army relies on men like Patsi, whose troops are vital. When Patsi asks where Ikram's forces are gathering, Ikram, caught in the heat of the moment, reveals the secret location. "I'll train my men there," he says. "Bring your troops fast." Patsi, brimming with fake zeal, promises to join him, warning Ikram not to charge alone and ruin their chances. "Together, we'll crush that villain," he swears, before galloping off, not to his men, but to Kameshwar's camp, betraying Ikram's plan. At the rendezvous, Ikram drills his troops, their spirits high, ready to fight. They could strike now and dent Kameshwar's advance, but Ikram waits for Patsi, trusting his ally. Hours pass. His men, restless, start to slack off, lounging in the shade. Then, a tidal wave of soldiers engulfs them, not Patsi's, but Kameshwar's. The ambush is brutal. Ikram's weary troops, caught off guard, barely resist. Most fall, including key lieutenants. Ikram and a few others escape, fleeing to the capital. Patsi, already there, spins a lie to Sultan Barbak Shah. He claims Ikram, driven by pride, attacked Kameshwar alone, ignoring Patsi's aid, and lost everything. Furious, Barbak loses faith in Ikram, who arrives to find himself blamed and shunned. His pleas of betrayal fall on deaf ears. Barbak, enraged, sends Amir Khan with a huge army to Kamrup, but Amir fails too, his secret tactics somehow known to the enemy. Barbak dismisses Amir's claims of sabotage, humiliating him publicly. In a fury, Barbak takes up his sword, calling all Bengal's warriors to join him. Seasoned fighters like Kedar Khan and Ulu Ghazam Khan march with him. But the real power lies with Patsi Ray, Kedar Ray, and Taruni Sen, who somehow sway Barbak's trust. The Sultan, like many before him, believes non-Muslim allies are more loyal than Muslims, a dangerous delusion rooted in past rulers' biases. This blind spot, ignoring the loyalty of Muslim soldiers, sets Bengal on a shaky path. As Barbak, Marches east guided by Patsy's cunning. The true cost of treachery looms large. Ep 25th, the last stand of Bengal. Sultan Barbak Shah, led by Patsy Ray's cunning guidance, marches east with his army to face Kamrup's king Kameshwar. As dusk falls, they camp just a few miles from Kameshwar's forces. All night, Barbak plots with his top warriors, Kadar Khan, Azmal Khan, and others, planning to surround Kameshwar at dawn. But at first light, they're stunned. Kameshwar's army has already encircled them, their position betrayed. Thick woods and high ground shield Kamrup's troops, while Bengal's soldiers stand exposed in an open field, easy targets for arrows and spears. The battle erupts fiercely, but soon turns grim. Bengal's numbers dwindle fast, with no clear view of the enemy's moves. Kadar and Azmal warn Barbak, Kameshwar's force is massive with more on the way and escape is narrowing. They urge retreat to regroup, but eager flatterers led by Patsy call it cowardice, chanting, "Fight till your last breath." Barbak, swayed, ignores his generals. Azmal, heartsick, mutters to Kadar, "The Sultan's blind trust will bury us all." Kadar sighs, "We owe our loyalty, but his life is in God's hands." By afternoon, Kamrup's endless troops pour down like a flood, crushing Bengal's battered ranks. Barbak, frozen in his tent, is yanked out by Azmal, Kadar, and loyal aides, as darkness cloaks their escape. Patsy, Kadar Ray, and Taruni Sen join, loudly praising their rescue of the Sultan, who thanks them blindly, missing their deceit. Azmal whispers to Kadar, he doesn't see who truly saved him. In Lucknowdi, Barbak's capital lies defenseless, its reserves spent. Kameshwar's army nears, ready to seize the throne. Desperate, Barbak turns to Ismail Ghazi, a revered dervish whose past valor once saved Bengal. Patsy, scheming to eliminate Ghazi, urges Barbak to seek him, knowing Ghazi's forces are weakened. At Ghazi's vibrant Kanka, Foizul Khan arrives, pleading for help. Ghazi, furious at Patsy's treachery, hesitates. His men are few, and he's shifted to spiritual pursuits. But Foizul insists, it's not just the Sultan, it's our faith's future in Bengal. Moved, Ghazi rallies his followers. They vow to fight not just for Bengal, but for Islam's honor, shouting, Allahu Akbar. Barbak, arriving at Ghazi's fort, begs for aid. Ghazi warns of traitors like Patsy, but Barbak brushes it off, focused on survival. Reluctantly, Ghazi agrees to lead a new army, blending his men with Barbak's under his command. As Barbak races back to muster troops, Ghazi learns Kameshwar's forces approach the narrow Karatoya River. With time running out, two armies brace for a fateful clash, Bengal's fate hanging by a thread. Ep 26th, the clash at Sangosh. The armies face off in a brutal showdown. Kamrup's king Kameshwar against Bengal's Sultan Barbak Shah, with Ismail Ghazi's fierce band leading the charge. On Sangosh's open plain, Kamrup's troops roar across the Karatota River, eyeing Bengal's heartland. Kamesh, undaunted, pushes forward, aiming to storm through the narrow riverbank. But a scout, Paran, races back, trembling, warning of Ghazi's, massive force. Beware, Maharaj, he cries. It's death ahead. God's own soldier, Ismail Ghazi. Tales of Ghazi's past victories, like his sword slicing through entire armies, unnerve Kameshwar briefly. Yet, he snarls, foolish. Myths, give me real news, the scout insists. Ghazi's fort brims with countless warriors charging like a storm. Kameshwar, a fearless tiger, scoffs at the fakir's threat. But the scout's words aren't empty. Barbak, back in the capital, has scraped together a chaotic army, laborers, vendors, even cart drivers forming a staggering, untrained horde. This ragtag flood joins Ghazi's fort, stunning villagers who thought the stronghold useless. Even Ghazi, a battle-hardened dervish, worries. How can he lead this unruly mob? Worse, trusted generals like Ikrar and Amir Khan stayed back, skeptical of the makeshift force. Traitors like Patsy Ray and Kedar Ray also dodged the fight, scheming in the shadows. Ghazi, with no choice, marches this disorderly mass to Sangosh's field, blocking Kameshwar's path. Using his fort for supplies, he faces Kameshwar, who, ignoring warnings, charges in. The battle explodes. Ghazi's tactics initially dominate. His lines hold like a stone wall, shredding Kamrup's ranks. Kameshwar's larger army falters, retreating, under Ghazi's onslaught. But chaos erupts when Bengal's cocky warlords, ignoring Ghazi's orders, bark conflicting commands. The untrained troops, confused, scatter in every direction, breaking their solid formation. Kamrup seizes the moment, pouncing like wolves on lost sheep, cutting down Bengal's soldiers with ease. Ghazi, seeing disaster, unleashes a desperate strike. 50 Arab horsemen, swords flashing, blitz Kamrup's lines like lightning. They carve through, leaving bodies in their wake. But the enemy's numbers are overwhelming. As Kamrup's reinforcements pour in from Kamtapur, the field becomes a slaughterhouse. Ghazi's men, fighting valiantly, fall one by one. By dusk, Bengal's army is obliterated. Only Ghazi, his nephew Muhammad Shah, aide Sheikh Masood, and 12 supply runners survive. Kamrup's losses are heavy, but Kameshwar, shaken, retreats to his camp, victory in hand. At the riverbank, Ghazi weeps over his fallen comrades, cursing his survival. "Why wasn't I martyred with you?" he sobs, rolling in the grass. Muhammad and Masood console him, and after burying the dead, Ghazi's eyes blaze with fury. Drawing his sword, he vows, "We'll have our revenge." Meanwhile, in Lakhnauti, Barbak paces sleeplessly, awaiting news. At dawn, a frantic spy arrives, gasping, "Sire, we're ruined." The Sultan reels as more messengers confirm the crushing defeat. "All my warriors, gone?" he cries, disbelieving. Patsi Ray, ever the snake, declares Bengal's freedom, lost while others mock Ghazi as a fraud. Barbak, enraged, imprisons loyal Foizullah Khan for warning of another threat. Tirhut's Rajput Bharat Singh, led by none other than Kedar Ray, is invading Bengal's west. Barbak, blinded by trust in Kedar, refuses to believe the betrayal, sending his son, Prince Shamsuddin Yusuf Shah, to investigate. Yusuf, cautious and distrustful, heads to Tirhut, with a guard led by Ismail Khan. Near the border, he's ambushed by Kedar Ray himself, who lunges with murderous intent. Yusuf fights fiercely, saved only when Ismail's troops arrive, driving Kedar back. Returning to Lakhnauti, Yusuf reveals Kedar's treachery to a shattered Barbak, who collapses, muttering, "All is lost." As Kamrup looms in the east and Tirhut in the west, Bengal teeters on the brink, its fate sealed by betrayal and blood. Ep 27th. The fight isn't over. Ghazi's vow at Sangosh. In the dim glow of the fort, Ismail Ghazi sits with his battered crew, nephew Muhammad Shah, loyal Sheikh, Masood, and 12 weary foot soldiers. The sting of Sangosh's defeat burns, but Ghazi's eyes blaze with defiance. "Listen up," he growls, voice like iron. "Sangosh was just one fight. Kamrup hasn't beaten us. As long as I've got breath, this war's not done. My men died for this. I won't stop, not till my grave's dug." Muhammad leaps up, fierce. "Never, Chacha. We're not quitting. Just tell us the plan. We'll fight with you." Ghazi nods, a spark in his gaze. "No rest tonight. The fight's still alive." Ghazi lays it out. "Muhammad, take 25 warriors from Abu Tahir's crew, battle-hardened men who stunned Ghazi with their skill at Mandaran. Your job? Patrol the Karatoya River's banks. Block Kamrup's army from crossing. If they try, hit fast. Turn their soldiers into corpses floating downstream. If they get past," Ghazi says, "it's over your dead bodies." Muhammad's chest puffs. "Not a chance, Chacha. We'll hold the line." Ghazi's second order: sneak across at night, strike Kamrup's camp, keep them rattled. Muhammad's ready, itching to move. To Sheikh Masood, Ghazi's voice softens but stays firm. "You and these 12 guard this fort. No one, Kamrup or local, gets in while you're alive. This stronghold's our lifeline." Masood springs up, hand on heart. I'd give my life right now, Huzur. Just say the word. The foot soldiers, faces grim, swear the same. Don't shame us, Janab, they say. We'll die or take revenge, nothing else. Ghazi's heart swells. Alhamdulillah, I can fight knowing you've got my back. Mohammed hesitates, then asks, Chacha, what's your plan? Ghazi's voice booms. My fight's not with branches. I'm ripping out the root. Kamrup's heart. No more small strikes. At dawn I cross the river. My battle starts there. A fight to the death. He won't say more, but his eyes scream purpose. Success or martyrdom, it's in Allah's hands. We fight till our strength's gone. The room roars, Albat, Albat. Ghazi's final words. May Allah guide us. By night's end, plans are set, messengers sent. Come noon, Muhammad's cavalry, 20 to 30 horses, patrols the Karatoya's edge. Masood stands at the fort's gate, 12 soldiers in a tight line behind him. The fort's eerily empty, earning whispers from passers-by. The 12 pikemen's fort. Ghazi, gone, slipped across the river under cover of darkness, vanished into Kamrup's territory. Meanwhile, Kamrup's camp buzzes with prep to cross the Karatoya. King Kameshwar, fresh off Sangosh's win, eyes Lakhnauti's throne. The river's wide, its far bank a mystery. Narrow spots show only faint shadows of trees and huts. Kameshwar sends a test raft under Rupraj's command, waiting for word. As Kamrup's soldiers hit the bank, Muhammad's horsemen charge from hiding. In a flash, 20 to 30 steeds tear through, cutting down the enemy, bodies rolling into the river. A few survivors, half dead, crawl back to camp, babbling of thousands of Arab horses lining the shore. Kameshwar's stunned. Bengal's sultan was crushed. How's this resistance possible? He orders rafts built not one by one, but a fleet to carry his entire army. Elephants, horses, all. It'll take a month, maybe two, but he's got no choice. The Karatoya's a wall, and Lakhnauti's crown waits beyond. Then, a letter arrives. Handed to Kameshwar by a servant, it's no note, it's a death warrant. King Kameshwar, it reads, war's begun anew. Surrender or face death. One of us dies this time, no other way. Ismail Ghazi. Kameshwar's blood runs cold. That dervish Ghazi dares challenge him? His generals laugh it off as the ravings of a defeated madman. But another identical letter arrives, then another. Doubt creeps in. That night, terror strikes Kamrup's camp. A swift attack leaves soldiers dead, no trace of the attacker. Kameshwar bolts awake, ordering tighter patrols. But another hit comes, 15 men beheaded. The camp's in chaos, chasing ghosts. By dawn, Kameshwar's heart shrinks. He flees to Kamtapur's palace, leaving his army to build rafts under constant guard. Days pass. Muhammad's riders haunt the riverbank. Masood's 12 hold the fort, now famed as Baro Paikar Durg. One morning, strangers arrive seeking Abu Tahir. Masood sends them to the river where they find him. Later, Abu Tahir sits with Muhammad, voice low. A man came from Lakhnauti asking for you. Muhammad's shocked. Me? It's Dilruba, the Sultan's wife, checking if Muhammad's alive. After Sangosh, rumors spread that Ghazi's whole crew was dead. Dilruba fainted at the news, sending men to confirm. Abu Tahir sent word back. Muhammad's safe, fighting with Ghazi. But Dilruba's fear lingers, her love for Muhammad weighing heavy. Abu Tahir sighs, comparing her to Ful Bibi, a woman who loved a man lost to war, living alone ever after. Will Dilruba's fate be the same? He wonders. Muhammad's silent, heart heavy. Across the river, a thunderous cry erupts. Kamrup's camp shakes with chants of Allahu Akbar. Muhammad and Abu Tahir freeze, then realize Ghazi's at work. In Kamtapur, Kameshwar grows lax, trusting his palace's safety. But Ghazi, disguised, slips inside. He scouts the king's chambers, a second-floor room with one high window, guarded walls, and a forbidden royal path. At night, under thick darkness, Ghazi moves. He leaves his horse in a garden, crosses the path, and scales the wall with a hooked rope. Silently, he climbs to Kameshwar's window, pries it open, and steps inside, sword drawn. The room glows with lamplight. Kameshwar sleeps, his young queen in his arms, their faces serene, lips touching. Ghazi raises his blade, ready to strike, but stops. Their innocence, their love, it's too pure. He can't do it. Gently, he covers their bare chests with a cloth, stands a moment, then sheathes his sword. As he turns to leave, Kameshwar stirs, waking his queen. They see Ghazi, sword in hand, and freeze, certain death's come, but Ghazi, lost in thought, doesn't notice. His face falls heavy with defeat. With a sigh, he slips out the window, vanishing into the night, leaving the king alive, and Kamrup's war raging on. Ep 28th. A new beginning. Ghazi's mercy and Kamrup's dawn. In Kamtapur's royal chamber, King Kameshwar stares, frozen, as Ismail Ghazi stands with a drawn sword, his face heavy with sorrow. After a long pause, Ghazi sheathes his blade, sighs deeply, and turns to leave. Kameshwar's not just stunned, he's awestruck. This enemy who could have ended him covered his sleeping queen and walked away. What divine grace! As Ghazi reaches the window, Kameshwar bolts upright, pleading, "Wait, Huzur! One question before you go." Ghazi turns, calm, unshaken, and nods. "Ask." Kameshwar's voice shakes. "You vowed to kill me. Why spare me?" Ghazi's eyes dim, his tone heavy. "I lost, Raja. I lost the wager." His voice cracks. "I bet my life, but fate betrayed me. I couldn't win. Not like this." Kameshwar presses. "But you could have struck me down." Ghazi's voice sharpens with pain. "And what? Win by shattering a sleeping couple's love? Their heavenly peace? My faith doesn't teach me to butcher dreams. I'm not that cruel, Raja. I lost, so it's your turn to win." He tosses his sword toward Kameshwar. "Take it. End me. Free me from this torment." Kameshwar leaps from bed, ignoring the sword, and falls at Ghazi's feet. "By God, I don't want to win. Teach me your faith," he cries. The queen rushes forward, echoing, "Me too, Huzur. Bless us with your holy path." Ghazi, heart swelling, embraces them, reciting, "La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah." The couple, reverent, repeats the words. Ghazi initiates them into Islam, naming Kameshwar Kismatullah and dubbing him Bara Laraya for his valor. Joy erupts as Kismatullah summons the palace, proclaiming his conversion and inviting all to embrace Islam. Most of Kamtapur's court, soldiers, and citizens follow, raising Islam's flag with chants of Allahu Akbar. Kismatullah, now a loyal servant of Bengal's Sultan Barbak Shah, sets off for Lakhnauti with Ghazi, bearing lavish gifts to pledge allegiance. News of Kamrup's conversion races to the Karatoya's banks, where Muhammad Shah, Abu Tahir, and Sheikh Masood, stunned, gather at the 12 Pikemen's fort to thank Allah. Kamrup's soldiers, answering their king's call, embrace Islam, their camp echoing with Allahu Akbar. In Lakhnauti, panic grips the royal court. Barbak Shah, near madness, fears Kamrup's army will storm the capital, while Tirhut's forces, led by traitor Kedar Ray and Rajput Bharat Singh, close in. Generals Azmal and Kedar Khan, outmatched, limp back, defeated. Loyal commanders like Ikrar and Amir Khan beg to rally troops, but Barbak, distrustful, refuses, clinging to hope in Patsi Ray. Patsi, dodging duty, claims his fort's defense is vital, leaving Barbak fuming but silent. Then rumors swirl. Kamrups cross the Karatoya, charging for Lakhnauti. Barbak, frantic, storms the court, shouting for guards. Qadar Khan bursts in. "Good news, Jahapana. Kamrups defeated." Barbak, enraged, draws his sword, accusing Qadar of mockery. Amir Khan rushes in. Kamrups embraced Islam. Then Abdul Hakim adds, "Kamrups surrendered to Ghazi." Finally, Prince Yusuf Shah, beaming, confirms, "Kamrup's king seeks your allegiance, Abba." Barbak, overwhelmed, softens as Ghazi and Kismatullah enter with gifts. Chismatullah kneels, begging forgiveness. Your servant Chismatullah seeks mercy, Jahapana. Ghazi explains all, and Barbak, tears streaming, embraces them both, joy flooding the court. Lakhnauti bursts into celebration. Barbak honors Ghazi and Kismatullah with feasts, but Ghazi, a humble dervish, declines lavish gifts, seeking only prayers. Kamrup's fall crushes Batsi and Kedar Ray. Kedar flees to Tirhut, fearing Ghazi's wrath. Batsi, desperate to save face, spins a tale to Barbak, claiming he chased Kedar, who escaped. He paints Tirhut's king as loyal, begging mercy. Barbak, moved, pardons them, praising Batsi's loyalty. Ghazi returns to the 12 pikemen's fort, then heads to his Kanka, in Kanta Duar, diving into faith's work. He frees his men, saying, "You've suffered enough. Live as you wish. I'm done commanding." Abu Tahir asks about their volunteer groups. Ghazi shrugs. "Run them if you want, or let them fade. It's your call." Niamat Khan says some will keep the groups, others join the army. Ghazi nods. "Do what your heart says, soldiers are needed too." Muhammad Shah, loyal as ever, vows to stay, training soldiers to guard Bengal's sultanate while Ghazi spreads faith. Ghazi blesses him. "May Allah guide your noble goal." With Sheikh Massoud by his side, Ghazi departs, leaving Muhammad to build a military school at the fort, backed by Barbak's support. Abu Tahir takes charge of the volunteers, uniting Bengal's efforts under one banner. Ep 29th, Shadows of Betrayal, Ghazis stand at the fort. At the 12 pikemen's fort, Muhammad Shah kicks off his military training with the 12 loyal soldiers. Day by day, more join, first one, then two. Soon a big group shows up, former prisoners from Kamrup's jails. Most are war captives or spies caught fighting for Bengal. Now with Kamrup's king Kismatullah pledging loyalty to Bengal's sultan, Barbak Shah, these men are free. Those with homes rush back, but the homeless or fiercely driven ones flock to Muhammad's fort, eager to sharpen their skills and rejoin the sultan's army. Muhammad doesn't just take anyone. He grills each recruit on their intent, faith, and resolve before letting them in. One day, as interviews wind down on the fort's veranda, a lone man steps forward. Muhammad, ready to wrap up, asks quickly, "You from Kamrup's prison too?" The man hesitant nods. "War prisoner?" "No." "Soldier?" "No." "Spy?" "No." Muhammad looks up, curious. The man's about 30, lean, with messy hair and a tired, distant gaze. "Why were you jailed?" Muhammad asks. The man shrugs. "Kamrup's soldiers thought I was a spy. I was just wandering their lands. I've got no home, no family, so I came here." His name? Aminuddin. The name rings a bell. Muhammad's heart skips. No family? Ever had one? Aminuddin's voice cracks. "Once. I had a home, even a fiancé, but I had to flee before the wedding. Kamrup caught me, and when I got out, everything was gone. Her too." Muhammad's mind races. Abu Tahir mentioned this name. Gently, he asks, "Was her name Ful Bibi?" Aminuddin's eyes widen, frantic. "Yes, how do you know? We grew up together, studied together. Where is she?" Muhammad smiles softly. "She's alive, Aminuddin, waiting for you." Aminuddin collapses at Muhammad's feet, sobbing, "Where, Huzur? Where?" Muhammad lifts him, takes him to his quarters, and shares what he knows. Aminuddin spills his story, his lost love, his shattered life. Muhammad arranges food and rest, then sends him to Lakhnauti with a letter to Dilruba Banu, Ful Bibi's guardian. Days later, Aminuddin returns with Dilruba's reply overflowing with joy. She writes of Ful Bibi's delight, comparing her to the moon's glow, but her own heart aches. "Ful Bibi's wait is over. What about mine?" Muhammad replies, "Patience bears fruit." Meanwhile, Sultan Barbak Shah's temper flares like hellfire. He roars, "Bind that dervish. Drag Muhammad Shah here." The spark? Not his own rage, but a plot by Patsi Ray and his allies. Traitors crushed by Ghazi's triumphs. Their dreams of power lie in ashes thanks to Ismail Ghazi and his crew. Now vengeance fuels them. Batsi, nursing a secret hope of seizing Bengal's throne, leads the charge. At a midnight meeting in his Godagat fort, he huddles with Kedar, Ray, Tirhut's king, and others. Kedar warns, "Our plans could leak any moment. Laknauti's buzzing and Kismatullah knows too much. He might have already spilled to the Sultan." Batsi reassures, "No, he's been too busy with feasts. But we can't wait. Our lives aren't safe here. First, we take revenge. On that dervish." The plan? Poison Barbak's mind. They paint Ghazi as a schemer plotting with Kismatullah to steal Bengal's throne. Muhammad's growing army? Proof of their conspiracy. Batsi, with cronies like Ramzan Ali and Hidayat Ali, spreads whispers. When Barbak invites Ghazi to live in Laknauti's grand estates, Ghazi politely declines, preferring his humble khanka in Kanta Duar. Barbak, stung, visits himself, but Ghazi refuses again. Later, at a state event, Ghazi attends reluctantly. When Barbak summons him for a problem, Ghazi snaps, "I'm here for faith, not royal errands. Don't bother me." Batsi seizes the moment, murmuring to Barbak, "See? He thinks he's Bengal's master." When word spreads, Ghazi's in Kamtapur. At Kismatullah's invite, Batsi sneers, "He spurned your city but ran to Kamrup. Why?" Barbak's fury erupts. "Bind him!" Orders fly to Ghazi's Khanka, but he's already in Kamtapur, strengthening new Muslims' faith. Muhammad, at the fort, hears of Barbak's wrath and the traitor's schemes. Loyalists warn him to stay put. Barbak's under Batsi's spell. Some traitors storm the fort, threatening to drag Muhammad away. His soldiers, enraged, thrash them and send them running. Barbak, livid, orders an army, but few dare face Ghazi's legend. As Ghazi returns, Muhammad whisks him to the fort, ready to fight. Ghazi stops him. "No, Babjan, I won't wrestle a friend." Muhammad protests, "They'll arrest us." Ghazi's calm. If the Sultan orders death, it's Allah's will. Fighting proves their lies, that we're traitors. It'd shatter the faith we've built. Our lives don't matter, Islam's light must shine. Tearfully, Ghazi adds, "If I die first, bury me at Kantaduar. If I'm torn apart, keep my head there, my body by my first martyr at Mandaran." Muhammad, choking back sobs, nods, his heart steady as Ghazi's hand rests on him. Ep 30th, the final stand, Ghazi's fall at the fort. In Lakhnauti, a new storm brews. Prince Shamsuddin Yusuf Shah, invited by Kamrup's king Kismatullah Kameshwar, visits Kamtapur. Kismatullah showers him with hospitality, but days later Yusuf falls gravely ill. Kismatullah spares no effort, tending to the prince like a brother and son of his sultan. Recovery takes time, delaying Yusuf's return. Sultan Barbak Shah, pacing in panic, fears Kismatullah's turned foe, holding his son hostage. Batsi Ray, ever the schemer, fans the flames. "Send men, Huzur," he urges. "My gut says Yusuf's life's at risk." Barbak, who loves his son fiercely, sends a messenger, but Batsi bribes him en route. Instead of reaching Kamtapur, the man loiters, returning with Batsi's scripted lie. Yusuf's imprisoned by Kismatullah. The plot thickens. Ramzan Ali, panting, bursts into court. "Dire news, Jahapana! Yusuf's caged in Kamrup!" He claims Ghazi and Kismatullah plan to seize Bengal's throne, holding Yusuf until they succeed. Hidayat Ali echoes the tale, and the bribed messenger swears he saw and heard it himself, barely escaping alive. Barbak's rage boils over. Batsi, feigning concern, rides to investigate but lingers by the Karatoya's quiet banks, biding time. Returning, he weeps before Barbak. "It's true, Huzur, clear as day. Kill Ghazi now, or Yusuf's doomed." Barbak, half mad, signs Ghazi's death warrant, convinced it's the only way to save his son and throne. Yet, a flicker of doubt holds him back. He orders the decree kept in the clerk's office, not enforced. At the 12 pikemen's fort, Muhammad Shah senses the noose tightening. He can't fight Barbak's army. It'd prove Batsi's lies. Instead, he leaves Ghazi under Sheikh Massoud's guard with the 12 pikemen and marches to Lucknauti with his troops, a backup force trailing to fend off Patsy's ambushers. News of the death warrant spreads like wildfire. Loyalists, Imam, Mahiuddin Hatim Shah, Guard Chief Abdul Hakim, Commanders Amir Khan, Ikrar Khan, Qadar Khan, and others storm Barbak's palace, pleading, "This is Patsy's plot. Ghazi's no traitor. Cancel the decree." Barbak snaps, "You're all Ghazi's puppets, eyeing rewards when he grabs my throne." Ikrar Khan begs, "Jail us, but investigate. If Ghazi's guilty, execute us all." They swear Patsy's the real betrayer, scheming to topple Muslim rule. Barbak scoffs, "If Patsy's a traitor, why did he fight Kedar Ray's army?" Stunned, they cry, "Lies, Patsy never fought Kedar." Patsy's aide, Sagar Das, an honest man, confirms Patsy rode alone to Kamrup after its surrender, taking no troops. Just then, Yusuf returns with Kismatullah. Furious, Yusuf confronts Barbak. "What madness, Abba? You ordered Ghazi's death based on Patsy's lies?" He vouches for Kismatullah's loyalty, revealing no one, not Patsy, or any spy, reached Kamtapur. Kismatullah exposes Patsy's web, a plot with Gajapati, Tripura, and Tirhut to overthrow Bengal's Muslim rule. Patsy's death warrant for Ghazi, revenge for his failed schemes. Barbak, thunderstruck, roars, "Kill Patsy, bury that traitor." "Alive," Hatim Shah warns. "You've already signed Ghazi's death warrant." Barbak, relieved, says, "It's not enforced. It never will be." He tasks Yusuf with building a loyal Muslim army, urging, "Recruit Habshi soldiers fast." Yusuf vows to act. Muhammad Shah, hearing of the decree in Lucknauti, rushes to Barbak's palace. Barbak embraces him, sobbing, "I was fooled, Bap John. Forgive my blunder." Loyalists recount Patsy's treachery. Hatim Shah insists, "Seek Ghazi's forgiveness." Barbak, eager, plans to visit Ghazi's fort. A grand caravan led by Barbak and Muhammad sets out for the 12 pikemen's fort, but Patsy's no fool. As Barbak signed the decree, Patsy knew it'd leak. He storms the clerk's office, demanding the warrant. "I got it signed," he snaps. "Hand it over." The clerk, fearing Barbak's wrath, complies. Patsy, with a hired assassin and his army, races to the fort. Abu Tahir's away on a mission, leaving only Ghazi, Sheikh Massoud, and the 12 pikemen. Massacre at 12 Pikes Fort. Batshirai, fearing exposure, rushed to the Darbesh's fort, with the warrant and his army. Inside, only Darbesh Ismail Ghazi and 12 pike guards remained. Ghazi, strolling alone, receives the decree from Patsy. Reading Barbak's signature, his hands tremble. He sighs deeply, eyes glazing. Massoud rushes over. "What's that, Huzur?" Ghazi, stern, orders, "Stay back. Go inside." Massoud resists, but Ghazi snaps, "Obey me, always." Massoud relents. Ghazi tells Patsy, "Not here. Take me to the gate." The assassin grabs Ghazi's arm, leading him away. The pikemen, spotting this, sense trouble. With Massoud, they charge, weapons drawn. "We stand with him." Patsy's army attacks, and a fierce clash erupts in the fort's courtyard. The 12 pikemen battle Patsy's force, while Massoud races to save Ghazi. A brutal fight erupted, 12 against hundreds. Sheikh Massoud fought desperately to reach his master. Too late. The executioner beheaded Darbesh Ismail Ghazi at the gate. Sheikh Massoud fell beside him, mutilated. The 12 pikes lay dead in a circle, their blood staining the fort's courtyard. In 1474, as Barbak's caravan nears the fort, a chilling silence grips them. At the gate, they freeze in horror. Ghazi's severed body lies sprawled, Massoud's bloodied, corpse beside him. Across the courtyard, the 12 pikemen's bodies stain the ground red. The fort, soaked in blood, stands still, a tragic end to Ghazi's saga. Mohammed Shah fainted. The Sultan wailed, "I have sinned. Ismail, forgive me. Forgive this fool." He vowed, "I'll beg forgiveness at Ismail's grave, and I'll purge this court of vipers." But as the mourners wept, Batshirai vanished into the shadows. His game wasn't over yet. Final scroll. In Bengal's history, no betrayal cut deeper. A saint slain by lies, a sultan broken by guilt, and 12 heroes who chose death before dishonor. This was the day the rivers of Bengal wept.